Welcome to How to Name Molecular Compounds. So this continues our series on chemical nomenclature, and today we look at molecular compounds. Whenever we think of molecular compounds, we should think of they're mostly composed of nonmetals. And so when we go to name these different molecular compounds, we're usually going to put the name of the element which is farther to the left of the periodic table first. It's usually the one that's less electronegative. Now, if both elements are in the same group, then the lower one is named first. The name of the second element is then given the ending with an IDE ending. So, for example, we have CO2. And in CO2, we know that we have a carbon, which we're going to name first, followed by the second, which is oxygen. When we think of oxygen, we drop the ending, and we add the ending "ide." So we get oxide. Secondly, we put a prefix in front, which here is di, di, which means that we have two of them. And we can see that using the figure on the right, which really shows what the prefix is for however many of those atoms there are. So we can also see this with carbon tetrachloride, because with carbon tetrachloride, shown down here, we know we have carbon, which is the first element. It is the less electronegative. It's the one that's farthest to the left, followed by chlorine, which then we strike out the ending and we add IDE ending. So we get chloride. Lastly, we know that there's 4 chlorines in this molecule, so we have tetra. Tetra is 4. So we add a prefix to indicate the number of atoms in the element in the compound. But one important note that you need to note is that mono is never used with the first element. Now, if the prefix ends with either an A or an O, okay, and the second element begins with a vowel, then the A or the O of the prefix is just dropped. And we can see that with dinitrogen pentoxide, where normally this would be pentaoxide, but because we have ending in an A and the next element begins with a vowel, we just drop the A or the O between it. That completes nomenclature of molecular compounds.